Now I'm gonna make a quick video about what do I want to see in the next platform on AMD CPU line, or should I call it APUs, because I want to have the integrated graphics. So for the AM6 socket, that I want to see it, so I can actually buy one, not just like you see on the internet, everybody making benchmarks, and pretty much when you start to build a new system, or even they don't because they don't have the money, or they have too much money, so they do it anyway. So I think let's say the AM5 generation was horrible, starting with the 7000 series, continuing with the 8, and now with the 9. And the main problem, I think, in all of those three generations, product line, was the price, in my opinion, and not just the price of the CPU, but the price, like I say, everything that comes with that new socket, with the motherboard, and you have to change the memory. So even me, I am on the AM4 platform, which I think is one of those most successful one. Even if they don't release a very well AM6 platform, I mean, a lot of people who are already on the AM4 with the 5000 series CPUs, they're not gonna change it until we're gonna see some affordable CPUs and also motherboards and RAM. Now, what I want to see for the AM6 socket, it's pretty much simple, in my opinion. First of all, I want to have integrated graphic card on every single one of those CPUs, which call it APUs, because if I have a dedicated video card and I have a problem with that and I have to send it to service, I would like to have let's say a port on the motherboard that I can actually connect and use my computer without the dedicated graphic card until it gets fixed or replaced. Or also, if I want to change it and I have to sell it first and then use that money to buy a new one, again, I want to have that display port so I can actually use my computer. So that is a must. Now with the new generation, I expected that the AMD, even the NVIDIA, to just completely cut the low end of the video graphic cards, and then they should be replaced by all those integrated graphic cards. So should be good enough for very light gaming, especially if you use older games. So that would be a very nice bonus, in my opinion. Now with on the CPU part right now, we have especially with the 9000 series, they start from 6 cores and they go up to 16 cores. 6 core is still good, I think. I have an 8 core. Ideally, I would like to see they start with an 8 cores and they just ditch the 6 core, but I don't think they're gonna do that because the 6 core is still very relevant even in the future. So probably that's gonna be, but they're just gonna drop just to one CPU if they will consider it to keep it, but who knows. But ideally it's gonna be an 8 core minimum with 16 threads. We're gonna have a base clock, let's say 4 gigahertz, and an up to the 6 gigahertz maximum boost up clock. So that would be ideally. Again, I say what I want to see. I'm not gonna say this is gonna be for the first generation AM6, but for me to actually considering buying one, you should have at least those two things. So 4 gigahertz for the base clock, and if you go in a maximum boost, it's gonna be at 6. An 8 core with 16 threads. I would like a thermal solution. I would like to have a cooler in a box, and I would like to see the AMD redesign them, because it starts to become a bit old with these ones, and it's time, I think, for something fresh and new. And TDP, this is a big one. 65 is still good enough. I don't complain about that, but again, I would like to see from the next platform an improvement even there. Let's say let's not go that crazy, but let's go with the 50 watts. 50 watts, I think. It should be achievable. I know I say that I pretty much raised the boost clock, and this is gonna pretty much ruin it from there. But again, new generation, new parts. I expect something like that. Technology, everybody would like to see that 1 nanometer, but I don't know if they can actually do that. But that's why I say let's make the specs right now how actually I would like to do. The performance wise, again, if I can play let's say you have the best graphic card, whatever, and you play natively, because I think there was some problems with the 5090 when the actually CPU starts to become a limit. If you play 4K gaming, let's say at 120 FPS natively, no problem. It should be a minimum I would say. Again, we're talking about the lowest CPU in the lineup. I'm not talking about the highest one. So everything I say here is just for the lowest one, because it's gonna be a problem with the price. That's why I'm going there. So I would like to see that 120 FPS at least. Let's say if not 160, 180 FPS. So or no 4K display. So you can have that peace of mind, especially in the future. I don't know how those new one they do this, but I saw some videos that they kind of struggle, especially in the high-end resolutions with the FPS, but I could be wrong on that. Now, the most important thing is the price, and for the CPU, like I said, the baseline, the lowest, I would like to see an 8-core, but if they decided to continue with the 6-core, okay, but what I see here is from the 8-core CPUs, I would like to see, now is the crazy part, and I don't think it's gonna happen, but to be extremely relevant, I would like to see $150 starting price for those low-end CPUs, APUs. But again, I think I ask a bit too much, so more realistically, I would like to see it, especially of the launch, no more than $200 for the 8-core, obviously, and who knows, maybe in 3-6 months, see some good deal at the 150. That would be a great buy, in my opinion. And also, if you have all those things, I would like to see a motherboard that is not does not going to cost more than $100 or €100, because, and a really good one, not the base one, actually a mid-range solid one, because I think even that stopped me going for the AM5 platform was that motherboard, because they were much more expensive, and also I have to put a RAM. Now the RAM probably is gonna use still again DDR5. I don't know if they can go higher than that, but if they do higher, let's say with a DDR6 for example, I would like to see even those RAMs, let's say a 32 gigabytes of RAM for $80 for a maximum of $100. That would be also a good deal, in my opinion. So actually you can change the entire PC, and even if you have that much money, again, this is what I want to do, what I want to see, having that APUs, those CPUs with the internal graphic card, you can delay it, let's say for a month or maybe 2, buying that dedicated GPU, or maybe reuse the one to have now. But for the building, the cost of the building on PC, like I say, if you, let's go with the highest, but if you pay $200 for the CPU, you put 100 on the mark, you already have a 300, and another 100 for the motherboard, $400 for a CPU, motherboard, and RAM on the brand new platform that's gonna last, let's say, for 5 years. And the motherboard, like I say, motherboard a really good one, so I can actually, if you want to update your CPUs in the 3 years, you can do that very easy. You don't need to change the motherboard, or they don't come out with such new features that you have to replace the motherboard to take advantage of those new ones. And the RAM pretty much is gonna be good for all of them. That's why I see it with the $400. And if you get a good deal, let's say you get, like I say, the processor cheaper, the RAM, it could be cheaper, go as low as through 300, 350. Again, for the next, let's say, 5 years, they're gonna keep that PC. I think that's a great deal. And with the right now, I think with the AM5, and especially when AM6, I think it's pretty much around the corner to be announced. I don't see the point of putting that much money. I think I tried to build a PC, a good one with the AM5 platform, and it cost me over 500, 550, almost 600 euros, I think, and that's why I kind of said no. But if it costs $350, that would be a much more compelling, I think, especially if it's a new platform right at the beginning. That would be a much better product to buy, and it's gonna actually motivate pretty much every single one of those guys who are on the AM4 platform to just switch to AM6. So pretty much they just jump over the AM5, because I don't think it was such a great platform to begin with. There was more performance, I get that. I don't say it's less performance than an AM4 platform, no way, they're much better. But that price that they have, and consideration how well the AM4 is still doing with the 5000 series CPUs, they kind of keep me away from just buying the buying in the AM5 platform, in my opinion. So for the CPUs on an AM6 platform, because on the AM5 I cannot make a video, let's say, because I wanna buy it. But this is what I wanna see from the entry-level CPUs in the gamma, in the lineup on the AM6. Like I say, an 8-core would be great with 16 threads, maximum boot speed at 6 GHz, a base one for 4 GHz, with a cooler, a new design. That would be nice. Integrated graphic in a CPU, so you can actually play even some very light games there, and the TDP at 50 watts. That would be great in my opinion. So that would be the specs that I wish they have. And at a launch, $200, 200 euros price, and like I say, maybe you can get a good deal for 150 in 3-6 months. And also, more important than anything, at no problems, like we see with other products from the AMD. No problems with this, with those CPUs, the APUs, immediately. So that would be my video. That would be my bucket list, let's say. What I want to see, my wish list, what I want to see with the new generation AM6, so can actually buy one. And probably if this video goes well, I'm gonna do one for the graphics cards, because even there it's a total chaos in those departments, and we got there just because pretty much it's our fault. We keep buying the product, and we kind of hope something gonna change, and it's kind of stupid. So yeah, that was the video. If you like it, leave a comment, tell me what do you want to see from the AM6 platform, and how much would you be able to spend, let's say, on the brand new computer built on the AM6 platform.